Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Here we go, folks. Should be wrapping this up today. I got to do a fuel filter, the coolant system, and then I should be ready to fire this thing up. Let's get cracking. I'm going to start off with the easy stuff, the fuel filter. It's also pretty hot out here, so I'm going to put up the canopy. Got the canopy up Darren gave me. Man, it's hot out here. I'm sweating already. That thing is huge, 10 by 10. But I got shade, so let me go ahead and get started. If it starts moving around, I'll pin it. I'm going to go ahead and pin it anyway. I lined up the intercooler bracket, and I had to file that last hole down there so that I could have a full screw access. Had to do that on both sides. I should be ready to install this thing. So let's see if I can get it mounted. I put this anchor nut on there and I still don't have clearance through that hole. So I'm gonna file that out some more so I can have the clearance I need. And I'm gonna do that on the other side as well. I got those two in. I'm gonna go ahead and put these grommets in here, get this thing in position, mount it to the condenser, and then mount it to the car. To another minor issue, those holes are not round. They're shaped kind of like an egg. So the rubber gaskets that go in there fit in there a certain way. And then these spacers fit in there to stop you from squeezing that piece too much. Well, these holes, well, this one's not that round. The other side was more round than this side, and it cut the gasket up. It was hard to put that spacer in there, but this one should be better. Just ran into another fitment issue with this radiator. The mounting supports are about 1 inch too low. I went to mount the support up there and it didn't reach the mounting support on the vehicle. When I measured where this mounting thing here is, it's 1 inch lower than on the OEM radiator. So if I mount it all the way up, the AC condenser line hits the frame of the car, rubs on the frame of the car. So this piece here needs to be up about 1 inch. Not sure what I'm gonna do about that, but these mounting supports are too low. Went to my hardware bin and found a nut that goes on these control arms. Put it in between the radiator and the frame as a spacer, and I have just enough room between this line to slide a thin piece of paper in there without it rubbing. So that's probably just about right. And I got a couple threads through the bolt on the top side, so I should be good to go. You can see that nut right there. And we still have a couple of threads through the cast nut, so we're good to go. And there you can see that nut I used as a spacer. Since the fan was out, I went on ahead and did the mod for the extra space. Used a box cutter and 10 snips to trim the fan housing away. Got it set up, ready to go back in. Time to eat lunch. I have some more aftermarket quality parts concerns here. Looks like it's got an aftermarket thermostat in there. Man, I'm telling you, guys just don't know what kind of risk you're running these aftermarket parts. But look at this. That thing almost squishes down. The Volvo one that's probably 25 years old is a much firmer piece. Going back with the Volvo one. I can't put this new junk on here. Look how thin it is compared to the Volvo one. Fuel filter replaced. Let's go ahead and throw some gas in here and purge the fuel system. Get some fresh gas up to the rail. Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. The pin is not closed, but besides that, that cap is destroyed. See if I got another one of those. Just got that whole 5 gallons in there. Went in easy, deep funnel. I'm gonna go ahead and put this busted fuel cap back on until I find the other one. Prime the system and start putting this other stuff together. And we got fresh fuel. Let me go shut that off. The wind is trying to blow my cover away, so I'm gonna have to shut this thing down, wrap it up. And here's another reason why you need a cabin air filter. And that crap is getting all down in your blower motor, and when you turn your fan on, it blows all that crap in your face. So this is the air inlet scoop that comes in the 850, and this is the cabin air filter holder that comes in the S&V 70s. So this is for a left-hand drive car. You see LHD, and that locks down on that right there. Ugh. And now you can install a cabin air filter in there. You buy a cabin air filter from almost anywhere. Protects your fan and protects you from breathing all kind of stuff that can crawl down in there. So I'm gonna look at my car, see if I got a cabin air filter. If so, I'm gonna put it in here. If not, we'll have to get one ordered and get it installed. And you take this thing and you throw it in the trash because it's useless. In the older cars, it had a adapter for an air temp sensor. Anytime you take this firewall cowl off, you might as well take the bottom of this window trim off. Make sure you get all the dirt cleaned out of it and brushed out of it. Don't break it. The cowl gets locked into that side. The window goes into that side. Get all that stuff back together. I got a fuel pump relay here in a Melee box. It looks exactly like the original. Same markings and everything, except it doesn't have the word Volvo. It's made in Hungary, and it has a 2015 date on it. October 28th, 2015. Some people say they keep the old fuel pump relay as a backup. Why would you keep a 28-year-old relay as a backup? I say replace them every 10 years, and you want to keep one almost 30 years old for a backup? Throw it in the trash, grab you a jump wire, use the jump wire as a backup. I'm going to try to replace this coolant hose if I find it, the one under the bottle. Then I need to find these clamps to this charge piping so I could hook up the charge piping for the intercooler. I got another fitment issue on this radiator. When I tightened it down, it tilted the radiator top in toward the car instead of tilting it toward the front of the car. So I'm going to loosen those 2 bolts on the bottom, get this top secured the way it's supposed to be, and then I'll tighten those 2 bolts on the bottom. Let me find these piping clamps and get the rest of this stuff together so I can crank the low oil pressure off this thing, purge the turbo, get good oil in it before I start the car. I would rather have a good 20-year-old Volvo hose than a new URO hose any day. But this is what the owner is begging me to put on here. So I'm going to put it on there and have them sign a release form. Oh man, another radiator fitment issue. The radiator is hitting the shroud right here. It's supposed to be going back in there, but it's hitting it here. That's what's stopping it. So I'm going to try to pry it over there, get it over there. We'll see what happens. It also looks like this radiator is resting on that intercooler hose. So that probably needs to be removed and filed down. I found all that piping for that front mount intercooler. Now, I have not installed the intercooler piping on this system yet, so I'm going to ask the owner one more time if he wants it. If he wants it, I'll put that front mount intercooler on and maybe fix some of this fitment issues. I ran into another fitment issue on this radiator, and that is that the fan shroud doesn't fit over the top of it. The lip on the top of it's too high. So I'm going to put on the serpentine belt, change the spark plugs, put the spark plugs on, put the wires on, put the distributor on, and then I'll ask the owner about that intercooler. I'm going to shut it down. I'm stuck. I got a couple of these serpentine belts that are too short. These $1743s. These things don't fit. Can't get it on. Done fighting with it. I'm gonna shut it down for today and order the right serpentine belts. Pick this up tomorrow. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.